Hello, y'all. Welcome to my office tonight. I have some singles with me tonight. I see a few. Oh, Grandma's joining. Grandma, I need to call you. I have not had a free minute to call, but I keep thinking that I want to call you now that I'm back from my cruise. Hi, Claire. I thought you guys might like this topic. Claire and Amanda and Sade and a lot of the singles that I have that Periscope with me. And if you're not single, I know that you will still learn from the things that I'm going to tell you. Megan, you're going to like this Periscope too. These are just some topics that are going to help everybody. Hopefully Felipe and Jonathan and a lot of my single Periscopers will at least watch the replay. I know you're not a single friend, but I really think that you can still help those of your friends who are, because remember, dating relationships are all about not finding the right person, but being the right person, right, Megan? Because look, we got to choose. So I want you all to choose very carefully, because you need to choose wisely and then treat kindly. And that's a great recipe for a great relationship. But choosing wisely is very, very, very important. That's right. You're right. Married people do need to date. But I'm so glad that you're here to learn, and you can pass these things on. You know what? Self-esteem does not equal marriage. So it's really important that your marriage isn't anything having to do with your self-esteem. So in order to give into a good marriage, you guys first have to be a really whole, complete, healthy person, and then you'll have something to give. So you don't have anything to give if you don't have it. So what do you have to do? I wrote down 10 smart choices, 10 wise choices for dating. Okay, look. Dr. Laura's book was really popular a long time ago, about 25 years ago, 10 Stupid Things Women Do to Mess Up Their Lives. Okay, so it's not this. This is a great book, but I'm doing my own things. But this is sort of my inspiration. I love Dr. Laura. She's been a great mentor of mine over the years. I really like her so much. But this is a great book, 10 Stupid Things Women Do to Mess Up Their Lives. But I wanted to tell you what to do, different than what perspective she took, what not to do. I just want to tell you guys what to do, and then if you're not in this stage, you can pass it on to other people. So I am Trina Titus Lozano. I am a counselor and an ordained Christian minister, and just last year, in 2015, I retired from 20 years of teaching abstinence education and dating and healthy relationships and teaching about healthy relationships to health classes in public schools to ninth graders. So I retired from 20 years of teaching that, but I really felt like this is a topic that I needed to Periscope about tonight, because I'm still always talking about healthy relationships. And any healthy marriage is going to start with a healthy dating relationship. So that's where it all begins. So right now, y'all have to start with healthy dating relationships. See, you learn something new about me every day, right? That a healthy dating relationship, first and foremost, starts with the number one wise choice. The number one wise choice is choose who you want to be. So choose what kind of a person you want to be. So write a list of qualities. Now, next, number two, we're going to write a list of what kind of qualities you're looking for in the perfect partner. Okay, your perfect Prince Charming, or your perfect princess, or whatever it would be. Your perfect Princess Bride, or your perfect Prince Charming. So what kind of qualities would you be looking for in them is number two. But number one is what kind of qualities do you want to have? So first and foremost, choose your own identity. Choose what kind of a person you want to be, what kind of a girlfriend you want to be, what kind of a wife you want to be. Y'all are cracking me up. You know what? I spent a lot of time on my teeth, so I'm really proud of how white and straight they are. It took a lot of work, you know? Hey. A lot of time at the dentist. Sorry, there's just no easy way around it. Floss every day, brush every day, bleach your teeth, do your bleach trays every day, and go to the dentist often. So anyway, number one, individual identity. Choose who you want to be. So really make a note of it. Make a note of who you want to be. Write down the list of qualities. This is very important, because number two, what qualities are you looking for? Because remember, you don't want, there you go. You don't want to just choose whoever happens to like you to be your life partner. You want to make the very wise choice about who you're going to be with. And so whoever you want to be with is massively important, because let's say what kind of qualities you're looking for, Claire. Like say you're looking for a guy that is handsome. You're looking for a guy that is honest. A kind of guy that has no addictions, a kind of guy that is, okay, a nerd. So somebody who is smart and intellectual and hardworking and funny and quirky and reliable and intellectual and all of these things. So this kind of a guy is what you're looking for, a Christian, a guy with high moral standards, a handyman. Okay, Amanda. So these are the kind of qualities that you're looking for. I know the top qualities that people are always telling me about is I want someone who's honest, someone I can trust. There you go. High moral standards, someone that will be faithful to me, that will be committed to me. Okay. So if this is the kind of person that you are looking for, yes, someone that is respectful, someone who has a good sense of humor. I mean, we can just go on and on with this list of things. But here's the key, and this is how number 1 and number 2 go together. As you are choosing wisely, the way that person is going to choose you, yeah, a Christian, a man that loves God, right? The way that person is going to choose you is if you have the same qualities. So a guy that has very high moral standards, okay, they're not going to choose a girl that's slutty or that dresses immodestly. They're not going to pick you. So if you want a guy with high moral standards, you need to dress like a girl that has high moral standards. You need to talk like a girl that has high moral standards, okay? So this kind of a guy is not the kind of a guy that you're going to meet at a bar, okay? If you want a guy with no addictions, then you got to be a girl with no addictions or you won't be a match. If you want a guy who's a Christian that goes to church regularly, then you got to be a girl that's a Christian that goes to church regularly, okay? And that likes to talk about God, you know, whatever. If your faith is very important for the person that you are finding, then you got to have your faith very important to yourself or you won't be a match. So first and foremost, make a list of the qualities of who you want to be. There you go. And then number 2, then the list of qualities of who you are choosing. Then those 2 things have a chance of being a match if you do that first. Okay, good. I'm glad that you guys are talking about this. Perfect. That is awesome. Okay, then number 3, treat kindly. So number 1 and 2, choose wisely and then treat kindly. So treating kindly, y'all, here's the thing. Make sure that when you are dating somebody that they are, thanks Claire, that they are nice. At the very least, they need to be nice to you and you need to be nice to them. If you're in a relationship and there begins to be a lot of conflict, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of arguing, if there's conflict in that relationship, they're not a keeper. They're not going to be a keeper when there's conflict. Listen, there should be a kindness in your relationship. If there is abuse that's already starting, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, if there's a lot of rudeness between the 2 of you, okay, love is not rude. Love does not treat people that way. Love doesn't put people down. Okay, so if you guys are not building each other up and if your relationship isn't first and foremost kind during your dating time, then it should be a deal breaker, okay? Don't stay with someone that's not kind to you, and don't stay with someone when you don't want to be kind to them, then you're not ready to be in a relationship. But if they push your buttons and there's a lot of conflict, no, they're not going to be a keeper for you, okay? So there you go. There's number 3. Number 4, choose health. Choose health. Okay, so you got to choose health for yourself. And when you choose health for yourself, you'll be a match with somebody else who's also healthy. So this means choose health, meaning get enough sleep. No addictions. Okay, so too much alcohol? No. Smoking weed? No. Or any other drugs? Drugs. Alcohol. Addictions to bad language. Addictions to pornography. Addictions to video games. Okay, these are addictions that will not benefit a relationship, okay? So be sure that if somebody, there you go, if somebody has unhealthy habits, they're not going to be a good match for you. So choose wisely and don't choose someone with unhealthy habits. Now, remember, for you to be a match with someone who's really healthy, who likes to eat right and get plenty of sleep and drinks a lot of water, and that's right, it won't. Wendy, that's good advice. But you want to live a healthy lifestyle, and then you'll be a match with someone else that's living a healthy lifestyle. So that's the way you're going to be a match. So choose someone who's healthy, but first and foremost, you got to choose yourself to be healthy, so you'll be a match with them, okay? So no addictions. Okay, number 5, choose purity. So we want to choose to be pure, which means no sex, not any kind of sex in any way, shape, and form. If you're already in a relationship, Donna, if there's anything that is a deal breaker, be sure that you break up. So you don't want to stay in a relationship if it has any unhealthy things happening, okay? You want to really hold out because, see, you're not desperate and you don't want to be in an unhealthy relationship. See, you don't have to be alone and lonely. You can be alone and healthy, waiting for another person who's a good match that's healthy. But if they're healthy and you're healthy, then that's great. Then I recommend you guys date for at least a year and really get to know each other. Not a long distance relationship, but really getting to know each other. And then you can move on towards building a long-term commitment as long as it's a healthy relationship. But do not overcommit to someone and do not commit too soon. Dr. Laura talks about that. That's one of the 10 stupid choices a woman will make. So read this book. Make sure you don't fall into the category. But she calls it stupid commitment, right? Okay, so choose health, meaning, and then choose purity. Dr. Laura says stupid passion. So whenever that passion gets out of control and you're not having the self-control and you're not choosing purity, that's going to make the relationship tank. So sex outside of marriage, it never makes the relationship better. It always makes it worse because it's inappropriate. So what you end up having is not a respect for purity. And so you'll have sex outside of marriage because you've got that stupid passion driving, the lust driving that. Don't do anything you wouldn't do in front of your parents. That's hilarious. That's cute. Absolutely. Or in front of your counselor. How about that? So yeah, so you want to choose purity and self-control, because self-control is the foundation of a healthy relationship. Remember, love is patient. Love has self-control. So these are the elements of love, not elements of lust. So anytime you get overly committed and that stupid passion, like Dr. Laura says, that's going to cause the relationship to tank and it will not be healthy. So choose purity and be sure that you also choose someone else who's also choosing purity. So if the two of you are both committed to that, then you respect each other in that, and then that builds the relationship. Because sex outside of marriage only makes sex in marriage worse. What you want to do is you want to save sex until marriage and have really great sex when you're married, but no sex when you're not married, because it's not smart. That's not wise. It's not wisdom. So you want to be sure to make wise choices in your relationship. So choose purity is number 5. Number 6, choose to be a hard worker, because stupid cohabitation oftentimes comes because oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Good. Good. Thanks for that tip, Claire. Yes, choose to be a hard worker, because when you're a hard worker and you are financially stable yourself, then you won't be tempted to do the cohabitation, because people live together and they make the excuse of, well, it's cheaper. It's financially, it makes more sense. We're spending the night with each other anyway, blah, blah, blah. So you that's right. You break the boundaries over and over again. You compromise, and ultimately it is defeating the ultimate purpose of what you want in the relationship is you want marriage and commitment. You know how your grandma always said, my grandma is periscoping with us right now, why buy the cow if the milk is free? So, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do stupid passion. You don't want to do stupid cohabitation. So you want to be pure, and you also want to be hardworking and self-sufficient financially, so you don't get caught in that trap. Okay, now number 8, choose patience. So don't act like you've got to rush into getting married. You do not have to rush to get married. That's right. That's a good point. Sin's like a credit card, pay now or pay later, but you will pay. You'll pay way more than you want to for the sin. There you go. Number 8, choose patience. Thanks for that. Choose patience. Wait. Be willing to wait for it. Okay, you guys are dating now. Things are going well. Don't rush into marriage. Be sure that you've got enough dating time that you really know if you're compatible. Be sure to get premarital counseling or even pre-engagement counseling to make sure that y'all are compatible. So spend a lot of time together, but be patient. Love is patient. It is, Wendy, and it's so important. Very oftentimes people get too rushed and they rush into a sexual relationship. They rush into marriage. They rush into this long-term commitment. And oftentimes they do with people that they're not even compatible with. So be very careful. Choose wisely, treat kindly, be patient, okay? Choose, number 9, choose your family. Consider the fact that whoever you're dating, you're basically making a choice of who's going to be your family in the future. When I met my in-laws, I was like, oh, I would love to be a part of their family, and they're going to make great, incredible grandparents for my children. I love my husband's brothers. It's like, you know what? I would love for them to be my brother-in-law. So you're literally choosing your family. Well, I just always recommend that if it is your first marriage, that you marry someone else, that it's also their first marriage, that you have that in common, then you can build your family together. If this is not your first marriage, if it is a second marriage, or if you're going into a blended family situation where one of you, it's your first marriage, but you're marrying someone that already has children, or it's their second or third marriage or fourth marriage or whatever, they always already have children. Consider the fact you are literally marrying all of them. So your family is going to become your spouse and their children and their ex. Their ex is going to be very, very much a part of your family. It is. It is a blended family. It is hard. No explaining how hard it is. I promise you, their ex, the mother of their children, is a part of your family because it's your stepkid's mother. It's your stepkid's father. So you are entering into a part of that family. If you can't handle that, break up now. Do not be dating people with children. I don't think that you should be dating with people with minor children anyway, because really that you're taking the kids' parents away from them and you're distracting them into a dating relationship. So I'm not even supportive of that at all in any way, shape, or form. But I did want to address it because you guys, you're literally choosing the family. Your husband's ex-wife and I have a great relationship, see? But that's good because you know. Good. I'm so glad that you learned. But you have to know going into it. See, when I counsel people in my office with blended families and they're complaining about the blended family, I'm thinking to myself, like, how did they not know? Like, of course the ex is going to be a part of their life. It's their kid's mom. It's their kid's dad. Even the kid's grandparents on every side, the in-laws and the outlaws, they're all going to be a part of your family. So if you can't handle having peace in the entire extended family of all the in-laws, the outlaws, the exes, the ex-exes, the baby mama, the baby daddy, even if they were never married or whatever, this is your family. So embrace that. And if you can't embrace that, don't marry them. So choose your family and choose wisely. That's right. It comes with being mature. You got to choose wisely. But if it's something you don't want to handle, don't choose it, because you literally are choosing your family. So that's number 9. Choose your family. Choose wisely again. Okay, number 10. Number 10, choose to forgive. Now, Dr. Laura talks about stupid forgiving. But honestly, stupid forgiving is whenever you are really forgiving people who've had a horrific past and there has not been enough evidence of change. So if you're going to forgive someone and they have a really big past, and on a lot of issues, either a past in your relationship, like they've cheated on you, or you've seen them drug addicted or alcohol addicted or anything like that, don't forgive and move on in the dating relationship unless you have seen remorse, regret, repentance, and they want to repair this, and they will repeat never, meaning that you'll see them go a year, 2 years, 3 years of really proving that they're not an addict anymore or proving that they are not an abuser anymore. You know what? They do change, but it's not common, and it's very common that they don't change. Very often, people will not allow enough time whenever there's a lot of baggage, so to speak, to get over. So I want you to use a lot of wisdom. Remember, this is about wisdom. I want you to use a lot of wisdom in choosing people. But then it is wise. So you changed, my husband changed, my husband's father changed. I have people that change in my office every day, every week. People are changing and turning over a new leaf, so to speak. But when you're dating, when you're in a dating relationship, you have to be sure that the change is occurring or has already occurred, because you certainly do not want to have a child, for instance, with an abuser. If this person has a history of abusing their ex-wife's kids, then that's not going to be a wise choice for you to have children with, okay? If this person has a history of drug addiction and they've barely been clean and sober for just a little while, that's not going to be a wise choice for you to choose to marry and have children with this person until there has been enough repentance and enough time where there's repentance, regret, remorse, repair, and you see the change. Then when you see the change, then you forgive as if it never happened. And then you don't bring it back up again. You don't hold it against them. I did that with my husband. I forgave him. I moved on. Our relationship is fabulous. It couldn't be any better, right, honey? High five. However, you guys have to really choose wisely. I would not recommend, for my one child that's not married yet, I would not recommend that he gets together with with somebody who's already been married or with somebody who already has children, okay? So yeah, 2 years sober before dating you, before a long commitment, you know. So just be sure. And I mean, love does forgive. Love, it covers a multitude of sins. Oh, thanks for the high five, babe. But you know, it does. It creates tension. It's really risky to marry someone with a lot of baggage. However, if you're someone that has a history of drug and alcohol addiction, but you have been clean and sober for several years, well, my goodness, that's just part of your story. That's just part of your testimony. You have how God's been faithful in your life to restore you completely. So you're completely restored. And in that case, that is the point of my number 10, choose to forgive. Because you certainly don't want to hold anyone's past against them. You could choose to forgive and let them have an opportunity to be redeemed. Oh, yes, that's true. They think about it, but you know what? Whenever they've taken the action to repair and it's just part of their story, it's a beautiful part of their redemption story. And we've all been redeemed from something, and we've all recovered from something, and we've all been repaired from something. So, but it's just important that when you're dating, that you really make it a point to be sure that there has been full repentance and full recovery to the point where there's total restoration and redemption. And then you would never hold their past against them, okay? So you be sure to embrace forgiving them and really helping them to have that fresh start. And you know that you have a fresh start. So choose wisely, treat kindly, think about these things. I'm going to continue to talk about these things in more detail for the rest of this week. So I'll be back tomorrow at noon and 9. God bless you guys. Thanks for periscoping with me. It's time to think about your future. And just remember, if you are alone and you're not married, that has nothing to do with your self-worth, okay? Because that just means that the right person has not come along to be a perfect match with you. But there's a lot that we can do to prepare in the meantime, okay? So that's what I'll be talking about for the rest of this week. Good night, guys. Thanks for sharing my website, Wendy. I really appreciate that. TrinaTitusLozano.com. Y'all are precious, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye. Good night.